Стой! Hi, just me.
Each day I wake up with big smile on my face like this. Ah!
The heated exchange came after Maria Andreeva was told at Putin's election base,
"Why you're touching her?"
as the war grinds on, with no end in sight after nearly 2 years. Pray for them.
Many Russians were skeptical of me at first too.
Россия и Украина без Путина.
But today, nobody ever seems to hear from any of them. It's like they're gone. It always works out.
This was Alexei Navalny only yesterday, not a man visibly on death's door. Laughing and joking with a federal judge in a court hearing.
He was killed.
And now a paid message from the Russian Federation.
Ну, просто вот 30 секунд или 1 минуту маленькую историческую справку. Вы не против?
Relax, I got this. Putin's going to make everything okay.
Looking at Tucker's face when Putin is talking, because like he's just making the biggest fake American, I'm listening to you, face. He's essentially got the biggest you don't say face ever, and that's just actions speak louder than words, right? And you see what this guy is doing. You see what, the reactions of Russia are leading to. You see what is happening in Ukraine, essentially, right? This doesn't really look like peace. This doesn't really look like conversation, consensus building, whatever. This guy is not misunderstood. He's not. You're just a useful idiot that is letting, the Russian government use him as a propaganda mouthpiece. And you're also spreading this propaganda of essentially, how great and misunderstood and strong of a leader Putin really is in the West. I mean,
no one understands what's in his head.
What do you think the chances are you'll end up dead?
Well, 50%. I would be killed or I would not be killed.
Владимир Александрович, это Навальный Алексей вас беспокоит. Хотел узнать, зачем вы хотели меня убить?
He's not died. He was killed.
If you are killed, what message do you leave behind to the Russian people?
We are creating a coalition to fight this regime.
If Vladimir Putin watches this film, what would you want him?
Take a dose of his own Novichok. Do the world a favor.
How does Alexei Navalny's story end, do you think?
I think that Navalny has a life sentence. It's just a question of whose life it is, his or Putin's. I hope he survives. I hope he's reunited with his family.
Russia's prison authorities have announced that the leading Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny has died.
The death of Navalny was a consequence of something that Putin and his thugs did.
Alexei Navalny has died in Russian custody. What is your reaction?
He's not died. He was killed. Exactly the same story like Politkovskaya, Boris Nemtsov, right now Navalny. Is every one of them was in opposition.
Vladimir Putin faces a legitimate opponent, Alexei Navalny.
I don't want Putin being president. If I want to be a leader of a country, I have to organize people.
He's not died. He was killed.
Namaste, Dosto. Did you know that there's one band that I can't hassle before they go on stage because I'm friends with them?
Россия и Украина без Путина.
2 years ago, Boris Nemtsov, an anti-Kremlin politician and ally of Navalny, was shot dead just outside the Kremlin.
And that's why in Russia, if you tell your opinion, and your opinion is different with opinion of power of Putin in Russia, you will be put in prison or you killed.
The stunning news of Navalny's death, less than a month before an election that will give Putin another 6 years in power, brought renewed criticism and outrage directed at the Kremlin and its leader, who has cracked down on all opposition at home.
Alexei Navalny was known worldwide for his astonishing courage, standing up to Russia's corrupt regime that first poisoned him, then put him in jail, and now it seems has killed him. His death has brought swift condemnation.
He was so many things that Putin was not. He was brave, he was principled, he was dedicated to building a Russia where the rule of law existed and where it applied to everybody. Navalny believed in that Russia. He knew it was a cause worth fighting for, and obviously even dying for.
All our people are so glad for their freedom.
There should be consequences, because there's no doubt in my mind this man was a brave fighter against corruption, for justice, for democracy, and look what Putin's Russia did to him. They trumped up charges, they imprisoned him, they poisoned him, they sent him to an Arctic penal colony, and he's died. And that is because of the action that Putin's Russia took. No one can look at this regime now and not recognize it for the truly dreadful nature that it has.
All our people are so glad for their freedoms.
Come in Harlow.
Yeah, the first one.
And the crawlers in Harlow are being rolled out. Yeah. There's a few of them. Obviously, it's their hybrid, because we do, being on the Met border, we go into London sometimes where...
All our people are so glad for their freedoms.
Олексій Навальний, очевидно, він убитий Путіним, як і тисячі інших закатованих, замучених через одну цю істоту. Путіну все одно, хто загине, аби тільки він зберіг свої позиції. І саме тому він не має зберегти нічого. Путін все повинен програти, все повинен втратити і відповідати за скоєне.
Это интересно.
I think now is exactly the moment that we need to act. If not now, then when?
I've come to talk with you again.
Привет.
You're not off to a great start, man. I thought you'd be better at this. However, I'm glad to see so many people showed up to your inauguration.
St. Petersburg.
I am Olia, a Russian woman. I am so happy. Each day I wake up with big smile on my face like this.
Pray for them. The heated exchange came after Maria Andreeva was told at Putin's election base,
"Why you're touching her?"
As the war grinds on, with no end in sight after nearly 2 years.
"Why you're touching her?"
Stop touching her! Soldiers' wives called the Way Home that is campaigning for the return of their husbands from Ukraine.
Ну, я считаю, что это был очень смелый, очень честный человек. И это был единственный человек, который делает вещи, которые мы все боимся делать, правильные. И, ну вот, он своей жизнью заплатил за это. И это ужасно, очень несправедливо.
Милиция, которая сама уничтожает свой народ, это не милиция, это бандформирование.
Путин нам не царь.
Россия – наша страна, и мы не позволим делать вид, как будто нас здесь вообще нет.
Владимир Владимирович Путин точно такая же зараза, как и Александр Григорьевич.
Он боролся за нас. Он боролся за нас, миленький мой. Я очень огорчена. Очень огорчена. Очень.
Владимир Владимирович Путин точно такая же зараза, как и Александр Григорьевич.
Наверное, и те люди, которые его поддерживали идею, должны продолжать бороться.
По поводу самого факта очень жаль. И жаль, что так. Запомнился, всем, чем он делал. Теперь он икона, как бы символ.
Владимир Владимирович Путин точно такая же зараза, как и Александр Григорьевич.
Hooray, we did it!
I've done all I'm ever going to do in the former USSR. Been in a Soviet prison. So there's not much more I can achieve. Don't judge the people of the region by the actions of their government.
Это интересно.
Скажи спасибо.
Спасибо.
Не хватает денег, чтобы...
However, unstable, so I must go.
For all of us.